I look like shit today. Ugh. Okay, so no one currently on. What was it doing? I really need them notifications to stop popping up. They're going to get annoying. Oh, we've got 2 people in here. Is that going to keep auto-focusing? Maybe if I just stay still. Shadow Cat. Hello, Shadow Cat. How are you? Do excuse me, I'm speaking very quietly because I think the little one's just got off to sleep, but I'm not sure. So I was ooming and ahhing whether to do this. Sebastian, hello, you git. Francisco, what's up? What's up is that one of my snotlings is having a bit of trouble going to sleep, so I'm really hoping she stays down. So if I do disappear at some point and cut this video abruptly short, you'll know what's happened. So yeah, hence why I'm talking a bit more quietly. Hopefully you can all hear me all right. What are you doing this time, boss? Well, I am working on some projects around here, but it's going to be a little bit of a tease, really. I might show you a few little bits, but I'm not going to show you exactly what I'm working on. And the reason for that, God, that autofocus is really doing a number today, isn't it? I do apologise, guys. I'm getting really close to getting that computer now. So, and improving the quality of this so we don't have to put up with this crap anymore. And there is literally nothing I can do about the autofocus. I film all my videos through my phone. And my phone, my model, and I've looked it up because I couldn't figure out how to do it. I Googled it and everything. The autofocus, you can't turn it off. You can't, which is just the worst fucking design choice. I love the phone otherwise. The video quality is good, everything like that. But the autofocus drives me up the bloody wall. I can see it now, in and out, and it's just so distracting and off-putting and just infuriating. Let's turn this around a little bit there. So yeah, what am I working on at the moment? Well, what I'm working on, and the reason, like I say, I'll show little bits of it, but I don't want to show all of it off because I'm going to be doing videos on both the projects I am currently working on. On my last live video, I was working on my mech guns. They are pretty much finished now. I've literally got just a couple of tiny little details to put on them, but essentially they're done. So I'm going to do a proper video, a non-live video for the conversion playlist and show them off. And then I've also got in the works more Tankbustas, which I will also be showing off in another conversion video. And then what I'm working on at this exact moment, other than drinking a Pepsi, oh god, that tastes good, fresh out the fridge. Bit of product placement there for you. I'm not sponsored by Pepsi. What I'm working for at the moment is it classified stuff. Yes, Shadowcat, it is classified stuff. Is a Deff Dread. And so, would you ever make orc bots? I'll quickly answer that actually. No, although I've seen some on the third-party site stuff, they look really cool. I would make cyborgs though, like part robotic. You know, I think they look very cool. Full robotic orcs. I don't know. I like the thing, you know, limbs cut off and replaced, and legs cut off and replaced, and with cybernetics and stuff. I think that looks really cool. Especially if you're going to do things like Scar Boys and stuff. That looks cool. But yeah, I'm working on, down here currently, working on my third Deff Dread. So I currently have my original Deff Dread, which is armed with a big shooter, and at the time 3 dread claws, but now it has to be 2 claws and 1 saw. bit of a weird business going on in the codex there. And then I've got the fella up here, who is my dual Scorcher wielding Deff Dread. Both of them have slight conversions and modifications to them. That one, for example, has the drill from the Killer Cans set, and I've modified the shoulder pads on him and used a different banner pole because I didn't want the same banner pole. And the other one, my original one, again, I think that used all original parts. Possibly a few of the weapons came from the Killer Cans kit just to mix it up a bit. But he, again, just some slight modifications with the shoulder pads, because with the Deff Dread, the way the shoulder pads, you've got these, I don't know if you pick it up, the standard shoulder pads, and you see that little prong there? So that is designed to, that little bit there is where that's where the glue attaches, and the bit that it attaches to is like a curved bit, and it sits on there, and this bit isn't, it's really weird, it just doesn't line up with it properly, and it's almost like it's not supposed to go there, but you look through the instructions and that's where it tells you to put it. And I don't know, the shoulder guards on the Deff Dreads, I don't know if any of you have had this issue when you've been building your Deff Dreads, they're just really weird, and so on none of my Deff Dreads have I built them the way they should be. But yeah, so I'm actually, one of the bits I haven't quite decided on how this is going to go on yet. Shoulder pads have broken off, yes, but top tip for you, you're going to want to stay tuned for when I do unveil this Deff Dread properly, along with the other two. But let me show you this one here, for example. Show you a bit of a tip how you can get around it. So, as you can see, with this fella, see how the shoulder pads are on there differently? Really simple little trick. All you do is take this bit, take a set of these, and clip that bloody prong off. Get in there with your mould line remover or your knife or whatever, smooth it out so it matches the contour of the ridge that's already on there, and that lines up with those curved bits on the shoulder pads exactly. And what all you might have to do is just with the little rivets on there, the little tiny little rivets, just smooth them off, just cut them off with your mould line remover, and that will glue on there exactly. And as you can see, it just lines up with the body, and it gives a much stronger fit. And actually, although it loses a bit of height, I think it looks better like that. My other Deff Dread, I just, what did I do with the other Deff Dread? I left those bits off completely, and I used the other bits of shoulder guards that go on the ones that stick to the arms, and I just had them, and the way they're positioned, they kind of go over those shoulder pads anyway, so it didn't need both. I thought both was too much. Plus, make them a right bitch to paint if you've got both on there and they overlap each other because you've got to get in there. But yeah, top tip for you. Really simple to do, really easy, and fits together so much better than the way they tell you to. And it'll make your Deff Dread look a little bit different to other people's. And I am a firm believer in that no two Orc vehicles should look the same. So with a lot of my stuff, my mech guns, for example, my trucks, the first one I will generally build just stock as it comes in the kit. But when I come to building a second one or a third one or a fourth one, etc., they all have to be different. So I may loot something else, or kit bash it with something else, or convert it, something, swap some parts around so it doesn't look the same. I want them to look similar in the sense that you can see they clearly represent the same thing, but I don't think any two Orc vehicles should look the same. And it's just because this stuff doesn't roll off a production line. It's not in a factory, you know, they're not coming off blueprints. Most of this stuff's cobbled together out of scrap or looted from other vehicles and factions and stuff. So it's definitely better to do it that way. And building your first, if you're having multiple, say you're having multiple Deff Dreads, for example, if you build the first one as it comes in the kit, just follow the instructions, build it as it comes in the kit stock, that's fine. Because what you're going to be left with after building that is a load of spares. When you come to getting your next Deff Dread, You've got all these bits in your bits box. My bits box is getting nice and big now. Once I've as I've been collecting this stuff over the last sort of year and a half, 2 years since I've been sort of back into the hobby, bits box has grown nicely. Advice: how would I make my own Deff Dread from my Deff skulls, and why isn't it a special character Deff Dread? So how would you build your own Deff Dread, like as in completely from scratch? How do you think Deff Dreads are like for magnetizing? I don't magnetize personally. It's just a personal choice. I don't do it. I like to just build something the way I want it. If the rules change and it becomes a bit crap, I'll just build another one. Skarner, hey buddy. So yeah, personally, I don't magnetize, but I can see the draw in magnetizing. But Deff Dreads, I think, are fantastic for magnetizing, because the kit comes with loads of options. You've got custom mega blasters, you've got rocket launchers, you've got big shooters, you've got scorchers, you've got your dread claws, your dread saws, and the way they're all kind of ball and socket joints, it's ideal. So you've got these little ball socket joints, which where your guns slot in and go in. So that's for your mounted guns. But what fits in the same hole as that is the little arms, the small arms that go on the bottom part. So yeah, drilling a hole into that ball, putting a magnet in there, same in here, and then getting your magnets in your sockets. I think Deff Dreads are mint for magnetizing. Same with killer cans as well. Very easy, I think, if you wanted to have all your options. They're probably one of the best and easiest kits to do that with as well. And where the magnet's going to be is because it's in the ball and socket joint. It's going to be really well hidden. But yeah, this Deff Dread is definitely my most ambitious one. I'm looking at him now, and as he's taking shape, I'm kind of making it up as I go along, really. You're getting your bits sorted for the build in May. Yeah, for your competition, Skarner. I don't know, possibly. I've got a lot on at the moment. Although, actually, what am I talking about? A Deff Dread would count, wouldn't it, Skarner? Sorry, guys, I'm recording. Yes, so for those of you who don't know, Skarner is running a competition for a small vehicle competition. So yeah, he just said a dread counts. Okay, then brilliant. Then what I'm working on right here is my entry. A Deff Dread would count. There you go, guys. So it's small vehicles. So I think so Deff Dreads, killer cans, mech guns will work. Their vehicles, buggies, things like that. So I would say a Deff Dread, or probably be as large as you want to go if we call them small vehicles. But yeah, cool then. Yeah, this will be my entry then. And this is a mech Deff Dread. So it's not a Mecha Dread. It will play normal Deff Dread rules with normal, no special rules for it, whatever. But he is definitely a mech inspired Deff Dread, let's say. And do you recommend Deff Dreads on the table, New York player? Yes, I do, buddy. I had. They're not. They take a little bit of practice and finesse to get right, let's say, on the table. They're not overpowered. They're not gonna, they're not just an auto include, but they are a good unit. I think they're fairly priced. You get a lot of options with them, so you can kit them out for particular roles. You can have them. A little plug here, check out my video Let's Build a Deff Dread in the archives. Check that one out. It's a video I'm very pleased with, actually, one of the ones I'm quite proud of, talking about all the different types of Deff Dreads you can build and what their uses are, what the upsides and downsides are with them. I could highly recommend that one to your buddy, actually, if you want to learn about Deff Dreads and tactics and stuff with them. Great video to watch. But yeah, they're really good. The stratagems, like I've just seen Skarner say, use the teleport stratagem, teleport them in. You can teleport 3 other fuckers in and wreck face. So yeah, they're great in combat. You can kit one up with just all close combat weapons and just charge the fucker in, and he will just wreck face. You can kit them out with, now we've got the option in the codex for the first time, which I love, is that you can kit them out with just guns, which was an option I always wanted, being a Bad Moon. and is great, is fantastic to get a Deff Dread, especially depending on what clan you're playing as well. If you're a Bad Moon, for example, you're re-rolling those ones. Deff Dread armed with 4 rocket launchers, for example, could be pretty tasty. Or you can have them, they can be a good workhorse for your army. They're quite resilient. You know, they've got the 3+ save, they've got 8 wounds, toughness 7, and yeah, they've got a good amount of attacks. If you kit them out that way, they can have some decent firepower if you kit them out that way. If you keep a big mech nearby to keep repairing them, protecting them with custom force field, etc., there's a lot you can do with them. Yeah, I like them. For example, in the last game I played, the first game I've played recently was against my good old buddy Reroll Joe. We had a 1,500 point game. My Orcs against his 1,000 Suns, with good old Magnus leading the way. And there'll be a video coming up on him soon as well. I'm planning a tactics video on how us Orc players can kill Magnus. And it will probably stretch to other Primarchs as well. But yeah, but basically, cutting a long story short, my Deff Dread got the killing blow, charged in, fucking Dreadclaw just ripped Magnus's head off, and it was beautiful. Now, fair play, Magnus had been softened up quite a bit from a massive Tankbuster volley, a big volley of mech guns, and a big mech charging into him. So he'd been tenderized quite nicely. But that Deff Dread charged in with the stratagem ramming speed. So he charged in the 3d6, causing some mortal wounds to him first, and then did his normal attacks after that and finished him off. So yeah, Deff Dreads can be good. Other times they can really let you down, and they can be shit. It depends on who you're fighting, what weapons they've got. You know, if you're coming up against loads of las cannons and stuff, they can rip through your Deff Dreads real easy. But it's good because it's cans and Deff Dreads more so, definitely, though. They can make up for a weakness. Say you're running an army that's boys heavy, you've got a lot of units that can be chewed up by high volume fire, light fire easily. 6+ saves all round, you know, they drop like 9 pins, we know. So having some Deff Dreads in there gives you some units that can tank a bit of fire. They've got a high toughness, they've got a good armor save, they've got a good amount of wounds, and it's handy to have that, because depending on the type of army you collect, if you're Orcs, a lot of Orc players go boys heavy, you know, hordes. If your opponent is prepared for that and they've kitted out for a lot of anti-infantry fire, then having a few Deff Dreads in there can really spoil their day. But yeah, check out my video on building Deff Dreads anyway. But yeah, this fella I'm building at the moment, yeah, so this is great then for me. So he's going to be twofold. So I'm going to get a video out of him, showing him off soon. You can probably just see him down there actually. He's in shot. But yeah, so I'm going to get a video, show him off properly, and yeah, enter Skarner's competition. Skarner, I don't know if it will let you, but if you can, post a link or something to how people can enter the competition, if anyone's watching this and doesn't know about it, because it's going to be a cool competition. I don't know what the prize is, but I imagine it's going to be something pretty cool. And hell, if you don't win, you've made a cool conversion out of it anyway for yourself. So everyone's a winner, aren't they? And when Skarner's unveiling all the entries, we all win by getting to see loads of conversions and kit bashes, which is awesome. Someone's saying mash that like button, boys, and I'll second that. Smash the living hell out of like button. I see there's 21 of you in here and there's only 8 likes. What have I got to do to get some likes? You tell me, within reason. Yes, 3 likes went up there. That's keep 14, keep them coming. It's terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, but so I had, for those of you that watched my, I think it was my last live video, I spoke a little bit about how I'd had a bit of hobby burnout, and been going for a bit of depression, and just tiredness, exhaustion, feeling a bit down about stuff in general, and just sort of lost the buzz of the hobby a bit, and it was slowing down me getting content on the channel. It was slowing me down in building and hobbying and stuff. I wasn't getting any games in. Me and Joe had been trying to get a game for ages, but he works long hours, I work long hours, our shifts don't always line up, our days off don't always line up, and if I do get days off, doesn't mean that I'm free to go and do what I want, because I've got a family with the children and other commitments. So it was tough, and so yeah, it was a little bit of hobby burnout, and it was bumming me out a bit, if I'm honest. But I finally did get a game with Reroll Joe, and I've got to say, we had such good fun. It was a really good game. I got beaten. We were playing what mission were we playing? We were playing one of the missions from Chapter Approved, the Maelstrom of War missions. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Tell you what mission it was. But we played the Maelstrom missions where we use the cards, the tactical objective cards, which I love. So it really sort of randomised the game up. Let's have a look. Not Eternal War. Let's find what mission we were playing. We were playing the mission Kill Confirmed. Was it Kill Confirmed? No, I don't know. Yes, it was Kill Confirmed. Yeah, so it was. So you were getting kill points for destroying units, which put me at a disadvantage because Joe's army highly elite, Thousand Suns, and but also getting objectives from the cards, plus you slay the warlord, first blood, and all that. And so yeah, it was a great game. It was a really close game up until the last couple of turns. In terms of kills, I was actually winning, let's say, because by the end of the game, all Joe had left on the table was Ahriman, flying around on his disc, who I couldn't hope to catch. He was right over the other side of the board. I'd killed Magnus, I'd killed both his demon princes, I'd wiped out all his Thousand Sons, the Rubric Marines. So I'd decimated his army. He had decimated a lot of my army, but I had a lot more left in him in the end. But he was winning on kill points, let's say, because I just had more units being orcs. And up until the last couple of turns, the cards just turned in his favour. And it just so happened that he just turned several cards and was able to achieve several objectives, one after the other. And I think it ended up 30 victory points to him, 15 to me, or 19 to me or something. So he beat me by quite a bit. But the score didn't really represent how close the game was, because up until them last couple of turns, it was a very close game. And, all the way through up to the end, it could have been anyone's game. But even when it was clear that I was losing, it didn't matter. We just had such a fun game. It was one of the most fun games we've ever had, actually. And it's amazing that just one game like that can just boost you up. I came out of that game enjoying, like, my mech guns performed well, my Deff Dreads performed well. My Shadowcat, I used your big mech with the shock attack gun that you very kindly sent me, this fella. He didn't do well, actually. He achieved nothing this game. He was rolling terribly, highly random, and I don't think he did anything. He got himself killed by a demon prince. I don't think he achieved anything other than drawing a lot of fire, actually, and psychologically scaring Joe, because he was constantly all game worried about this guy. Because in the last game we played, when I used him, this guy destroyed his Redemptor Dreadnought, then later on put the hurt on one of his tanks. So he's very scared of him. But these are random, aren't they? Shock attack guns, highly random. 1 minute they'll perform amazing, next minute they'll do nothing. But it's what makes them fun. And it only takes them to do that magic once or twice for your opponent to be terrified of him. And he was focused on getting to him and killing him. So yeah, he did serve a purpose in that sense. But yeah, it was just a really fun game. The strategies and the tactics that I had in mind worked well. I used my mega knobs for the first time in large numbers, so I had quite a large squad of it. Was what my army list was very elite actually, and this was the first game since I've been back in the hobby collecting my orc army, where I feel I have got my list, my army, if that makes sense. Obviously, I've got all of the orcs is all my army. I've got loads of stuff. I don't know what points. I haven't added up the points of my whole army yet. I would say I'm probably around the 5,000 points, 4,000 to 5,000 points now. Yeah, easily. I must be. Um, but yeah, this was 1,500 points, and I think I after playing this game, even though I'd lost, I was really pleased with the way the army performed, the way the units were synchronizing, and the way the tactics I was using and the stratagems, with the clan traits and the warlord, all this stuff synchronized really well, and it was totally different from the armies I've been playing up to this point. So yeah, like I said, it was a highly elite army for me. In terms of boys, so for example, I see all the time everyone saying, well, orc army, you need to be running 100 boys minimum or so. Sorry, that's bollocks. You don't need to do that. You can do that, and it would be effective, and it would be good fun, and it's cool. It's a viable tactic, but you have to do that? No. I used, in my army, I had 10 boys. I had a squad of 10 shooter boys. My rest of my troop slots was filled out by 2 squads of 10 grots. So I just had 3 very small, very cheap troop slots to get that battalion detachment. I then, in my elites, had a unit of 7 mega knobs. Bloody light's not working. 7 mega knobs, all armed with custom shooters, rocket launch, combi rockets, one with a combi scorcher, power cores. So they were kitted out for the Dakar. I had my unit of 10 Tankbustas in a truck. I had, for the first time, I used my custom big mech and tried out the good old Thunderbus teleporter scorcher combo in one, and I've got to say, the firepower from this guy when he gets within range is so bloody good. He almost won me the game at one point, when he took a demon prince down to its last wound with all his firepower, and if it had got that last wound off, because of all the tactical cards I had to achieve at the time, he would have, in that one kill, got me 6 victory points, but he missed out on it by 1 measly fucking wound. But he did do well. So I had him, Tankbustas, Mega Knobs. I had 2 Deff Dreads, 4 mech guns, and a weird boy, and and a couple of Deathcopters as well as a sort of distraction unit. And yeah, it worked. The army worked really well, and I was concerned when I laid it out. Joe was a bit concerned as well. He's like, "Oh, it's a bit different. He's got some heavy firepower, some heavy hard hitters in there." I didn't even have a custom force field. There was loads of stuff that is, for me, was usually auto include, but I was like, no, I want this in my army, and I want this. And I had, with 1,500 points, it's my favourite points limit to play a game, because with 2,000 points, you can generally have everything you want within reason. You have to make maybe some sacrifices, but you can generally cover all bases. With 1,500, there is nearly always a weakness in your army, something that the enemy can exploit, because you can't have everything you want. If you want something big and juicy and expensive, you're going to have to make sacrifices elsewhere. If you want large numbers of boys, you're not going to be able to have some of that other flashy stuff, because you're going to feel it. So you're always making some sacrifices there, and it forces you to make some tough decisions. So when I was writing the list, I was like, I can't do a list with no custom force fields. How am I going to protect my Deff Dreads? How am I going to protect my mech guns and my boys and everything? You know, I'm going to really miss those invulnerable saves. But actually, it went all right. They did pretty good. The Mega Knobs, they the weird boy performed a jump on them. First turn was unsuccessful, but I thought, you know what, I'm not going to re-roll dice. I'm just going to accept it. I'll do it turn 2. So they missed out that first turn, but then turn 2 they teleported in and they just chewed through those rubric marines. They just slowly chomped their way through them, and was awesome. Dread was in here. Hey buddy. Met guns did really well. Deff Dreads, like Skarner just said a little way back in the conversation, use the teleport stratagem with them. I wanted to do it with 3 Deff Dreads, but I didn't have this guy built at the time. He's still not quite built now, but I did it with 2 Deff Dreads, and yeah, they did the job really well. And yeah, with the combination of the teleport stratagem, the combination of the Death Copters with their ability, being able to perform the jump on a unit, gave me a lot of maneuverability in terms of, especially in an objective-driven game, being able to get units where I wanted them at key times and just teleport them across the table or teleport them into where they were needed was really cool. The Met guns right in the center of the field, right up, set up as far forward as they could, give me that big arc of danger zone that he did not want to come into, because he knew what each of my custom mega cannons was capable of doing. And yeah, it was a good shooty orc army that for the first time I was able to play what for me is the perfect army, is one that fits the theme, the fluffy theme that you're going for. Bad moons, big armor, big guns, and also perform well on the table and be competitive. Because up until that point, all the games I've done well at have been, for me, they felt more like I'm playing Goths. I've always used the bad moon trait, but my army, looking at it on the table, it looked more like a Goth army, or, you know, it's just lots of boys, mostly kitted out for close combat. There was some shooty stuff in there, but not a lot of it. And it wasn't the type of army I really wanted. And then I did sort of go in with a dread mob list where I used my cans and my Gorknaut and my Deff Dreads, and that performed really badly against his Thousand Sons before. But now I think I'm refining the list each time, and I got back that night from playing the game and I'm like, right, that was great. This is so close to like my list that I want. But there was a couple of changes. I was tweaking it and changing it. And yeah, I think I've pretty much got my perfect 1,500 point army list set now. And so that's what I'm working on. I'm working on these last few conversions and builds so that I can have them done, have this list set in stone, and then that is what I'm going to focus on getting painted to be my army, basically, because I really like the way it worked. And it's much less daunting now as well to think now, actually, I only have to paint a squad of 10 orc boys, not 100. Obviously, I will have more to paint in the future when I want to expand the army, and I've got near on 100 boys. But yeah, just knowing that in my army, I've just got a squad of 10 shooter boys. And the rest of it is all quite elite stuff, you know, Deff Dreads, Mega Knobs and things like that, and the Tankbustas. So yeah, let's give you a little teaser. So here is a little sneak peek at what's going to be coming up in my Tankbuster video conversion soon. Some of you will have already seen him on the Facebook page, but here is this one of my Bad Moon Tankbusters. So as you can see, he's been kit bashed a bit and converted. So the gun arm is designed to be the boss knob arm, but I don't use it as that. I just use it as normal orc arms because they're not that much bigger, so it works. Just filed the little barrel bit off the end, and then got one of the combi rockets off the Mega Knob set, filed that down, glued that on. Quite a simple little conversion there, but I think it looks quite cool. He's got his Tankbuster bomb there, and my favourite thing about him is the Bad Moon hat from one of the fantasy orc heads. Just had to get one of them in my army to make him look like a proper Bad Moon. But yeah, there you go, guys. So he's one of my new Tankbusters. But yeah, he's one. He probably is my favourite Tankbuster now. But I'm looking at the table here. I've got 3 other Tankbusters. No, 4 other Tankbusters that are all looking pretty cool, and some of them have been very heavily converted. Some of the parts actually Skarner sent me. He sent me a couple of looter parts, and yet again, instead of building looters, I've used the parts to convert more Tankbusters because I just love Tankbusters. So yeah, Six-Bus Stevo question: what is your top 3 favourite orc units? I'm not going to tell you yet because I'm going to save that for a top 5 favourite units in one of my top 5s videos, which will be coming up. But no, I'm not going to give any spoilers because I was just about to say one of them, but that'll probably be number 1. So I don't know. That'd be a hard one to choose, actually. There's certain units. I've never run out of interesting Tankbuster ideas, says Dreadwar. No, they're so much fun. And I've got, because I've been building all these mega knobs, and I've got another start collecting set that I've been building stuff out of, and Deff Dreads and Canbits, I've got a bit of an abundance of rockets knocking about, and my Tankbusters they never ever perform badly. They just never. They always get their points back every game without fail. They do die pretty quickly after they've achieved one of their objectives. You know, they don't stick around long. Once they've fired one volley, your opponent's just like, them fuckers, they have to go, and they will stop at nothing to just rid you of your Tankbusters. And they are a glass hammer, but what a hammer blow they deliver. They are just astounding. I love them. And yes, and now with what I've built, I now have a full squad of 15 Tankbusters, but I'm not done yet. I'm building more because I think I will build more so that I can have a full squad of 15, or maybe I could have sort of 2 smaller squads of like 10, say, or 12 maybe, even if I want to get them into trucks and stuff. But yeah, essentially now I've got Tankbusters. Also, I've made a decision as well, again, all coming from playing this last game against Joe and building this list. As you may have noticed there, where I showed off one of my Bad Moon Tankbusters, you see what size base he's on? Yep, he's on a 32. Is it 32, isn't it? It's 28 and 32. Please correct me. I always say 25 and 30s or whatever. It's 28 and 32 in it. I think I've got it right there. So yeah, he's on a 32 mil base. Skarner's brilliant. Yes, Skarner, I know. And I said that I was never going to do this with the boys and stuff. I said all the way, 28s for boys, 32s for the knobs. And I stuck to that. But it was concerning me. Although I don't play in sort of like official tournaments and stuff, that doesn't mean I'm never going to. And I would like to, maybe, possibly one day. And in another sense, I kind of want to future-proof my army. And but the thought of rebasing like 100 boys, I was just like, nah, not doing that. 25s and 32, yeah. So I've gone from 25 to the 32s. I was like, I can't rebase all those bloody models. It'll be horrendous. But then I played this game, and I did well with it. And where I only used 10 boys and a squad of Tankbusters that are on these 25 mil bases, got me thinking, like, actually rebasing them isn't going to be a big ball ache because there's only a few models to rebase. I can leave all my other boys on 25s for now. I don't have to worry about them because when I play, it's only for fun anyway. So it doesn't matter if some of the boys are on smaller bases, some are on bigger. That's not going to matter. But for my like official list, I think I'm going to do it. And you know what? I also think I've been converted in that I do agree with a lot of players now. Now I've done it. Sorry, Scott, I've been converted. I do think they look better on the 32s, I have to say. When I saw them first, I thought, no, they don't need to be on those races. They look better on the 25s. But do you know what? Now I've seen them, I do actually think they look better. There's Dread, look, I fucking told you. So yeah, I have been I've been converted. Judas traitor. Sorry, Skarner. I guess we're going to have to chat about this a bit in Two Bald Knobs. The next one, it's going to have to be typical Bad Moon. Yeah. Yeah. So do you know what though? Like, if let's say I was doing a horde army, say I'd come my list and I'd set my list and like, well, this is the list I'm going to paint. This is going to be my army. If it had been loads of boys, no, I would not have done that. I would just said, you know what, tough shit. They're staying on 25s. I'm not doing that. But because I haven't painted most of my stuff yet, this is a bit of the advantage I've got where I haven't painted a lot of it and done a lot of stuff in terms of that. It's popping them off on basing it isn't going to be as much of a big deal. If I'd fully painted this stuff and based it and varnished and everything, then that would have been a tough sell then, definitely. But if I'm going to do it, it's time to bite the bullet now and do it. So yeah, I actually bought a bag of 32 mil bases from eBay the other day. So I'm committed now. I'm going to do it. Sorry, Scarter. But yeah, there you go. I saw someone just there in the comments said, is there a competition coming up? There is a competition and I'm so excited about it. But again, sorry that this video is being very secretive and the stuff I'm working on and things, I can't really tell you too much. But yes, I am getting very close to 2,000 subscribers now. And once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do what most of us YouTubers do when we hit certain milestones, is a giveaway. What did I give away when I hit 1,000? I think it was a piece of terrain. I can't remember now. I've done a few giveaways now. I've done a few prize draws. Given away a few bits. And it's always been immensely satisfying. It's been nice to give a little something back to you awesome people. But yeah, let's just say the prize pool is building nicely. I've been in talks with various companies, various third parties and stuff. And yeah, they've got, I've reached out to a few different companies. Some said thanks for your interest, but no. Others said yes, we'd love to get on board with that and we'd love to help you out and we're going to send you this for your giveaway. So that's really cool. I've got some bits of my own stuff, my own money that I'm going to give away as well. And I haven't exactly, wasn't it Black Reach Orcs and Green Dice? No, that was another giveaway. And that was where the school teacher won it, and then was very kind to send me the pictures of the kids in this gaming club that he does enjoying the stuff. So that was immensely satisfying to me to see that one. But yeah, I haven't, like I say, I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to do yet. Initially I was going to do just a big prize. One winner wins this big bundle of orky goodness. But the more I think about it now, the more I think I would like to reach out to, give a little bit back to a few more than that. And so I might do a giveaway where there's possibly 3 winners to win like 3 different sets of prizes, and break it up that way a bit. And that way can reward a few more people rather than just one person winning a big haul, which would be really cool, especially for that person, because these prizes are going to be really good. And actually, some of the stuff I've been told I'm getting for this prize draw, I'm like, oh, that is just teasing, because it's going to arrive at my house, be sitting there in its packaging, just winking at me, teasing me, and I'm going to have to package it up and post it back out to someone else. But I am happy to do it because it's cool to give something back. It's always satisfying. So yeah. good. I see that was good. And I don't know exactly what people are going to have to do yet to win the prizes, because I haven't thought about it yet. I do have a couple of ideas, but it won't be anything taxing. I won't expect people to, make videos or do anything, or, jump through any hoops. It'll be a simple, be a subscriber, like the video, and it'll be leave some sort of comment. So it'll be something. I'll ask some kind of question and get the answers, and I'll probably pick winners at random, or maybe I'll pick the best answers. I don't know yet. Once we hit that milestone, we've got to reach it first. Once we do, all will be revealed in terms of the prizes and what you've got to do to win them. But it's exciting. It'll be fun, and it's exciting to be getting near that 2,000 subscriber point. Subscribership is it's climbing quite nicely now, especially since I sort of got back into a bit more of a regular routine, getting the content out there again. My head's swimming with ideas. I've got a hold on. I've got a notepad there, lots of ideas for future videos. One of which on there I can tick off because it's this one, talking about the various things I've been talking about. So yeah, that's but yeah, the next videos coming up, like I say, will probably be showing off the Tankbustas, the Met guns, and then eventually the Deff Dread, which I will now be also entering into Skana's competition. So that's put the pressure on. We need to get cracking on this guy. What's going on my bloody lighter? Right, I've ignored a lot of the comments in the chat now, so let's respond to you all. My first truck finished just now. Now I can't wait to paint. Super glue everywhere. How about how to do a drawing of you? Well, that could be bad. There, that I don't know if I'd want to do that. I know. Does Zoggin get all the love? You did a Painboy giveaway at 500, right? Yes, I did a Painboy giveaway for something. Yeah, I think it probably was 500. Original. I tried to paint teeth, but I was just told to piss off. I don't know what the a draw review orcified Terrain 1000 from Cromlech, wasn't it? Yes, it was a Cromlech picture. Yes, it was the Dakar bunker when I hit 1,000. It was one of these. A good old Dakar bunker, which I'm still yet to get past, really just the base coating. Oh shit, don't break the bloody things, Christ. But yes, so painting wise, I need to focus on that. My missus, bless her, just had our 5-year anniversary the other day, and look what she got me. Painting handle, which was a nice little surprise. Steve, what's your opinion on Deff Dread copters being Bad Moon versus Evil Suns? I'm goth based and I'm leaning towards Evil Suns to advance and shoot still. I like, depends what you've got them armed with. If you've got them armed, like most people have, with the copter rockets, I would say go with Bad Moons. Deff copters are really fast anyway. I don't necessarily think they need that extra movement to get to where they're needed. With the fact that they can flank in from any board edge, with the fact that they've got that 14-inch movement with a 24-inch range rocket, gives, that's think now that is a 30 that is a 38-inch threat range. They can get within range of, but they come from any, they've got basically I don't ever have trouble getting my Deff copters to a point where they can target any unit on the table, pretty much. So Big Mac, Dan Skull, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you in here. So yeah, I would, but re-rolling those ones for the copter rockets is nice. Yeah, being able to advance and shoot is good, but I think for the Deff copters, pretty sort of almost overkill in a sense. I don't think you really need it. I think for other units, like boys, for example, being a shooter boys, Evil Sons, very nice. Being able to advance and still shoot without any penalties and stuff. Yeah, very, very cool. I think Evil Sons clan trait in general was just really fucking good. But yeah, on a Deathcopter, they're one of our fastest units anyway, and one of our most maneuverable units that you can get to where needed. So I don't really think you need that. Yeah, it's nice to have it, and once after that initial deployment, being able to move even further, and the fact that when they advance, you don't have to roll for it. It's always the 6 inches, is really bloody nice. But yeah, advancing without penalty or just re-rolling the ones, I would go for Bad Moons. But then I would say that, wouldn't I? Because I'm a Bad Moon player. You're right though, Stevo. Must, if not all Orc players are bald. L. Yes, I don't know what it is. I think, yeah, we need to, well, not Dreadwar. He's got his hair squig, hasn't he? He's got his dread squig, you know. And with Evil Sons, they get a 22-inch movement. Yeah, but do they need it? That's my point. I don't think they really need it. It's a nice thing to have, and it probably would be useful. But I think it would be useful sometimes. Where I think re-rolling the ones for those rockets is useful all the time. So yeah, personally, I'd say Bad Moon Deathcopters are better. Personally, Dreadwire laughing there about his hair squig. Whoa, I nearly knocked my tray of bits flying into me. Yesterday, doing this conversion, cutting off a bit, off another bit, had my good old Stanley blade out, being very careful, I may add, not to cut myself, but I was cutting one of the ball and socket joint from one of the Deff Dread arms. It went flying, and I was just searching for it for fucking over an hour, searching for it, getting more and more aggravated as I just couldn't find this part. And it wasn't a part that I had a second one of, so I needed this part for part of this conversion. And my God, that was a killing. Whoa. And then I was thinking of trying to do it in some other way and change the conversion, but no, I had my heart set on converting it in this way. And yeah, eventually I did find it, but my God, that was hard bloody work. I was like, where the hell could this thing go? I'm sure you guys have had the same thing, especially when you're converting or clipping bits off sprues. Occasionally a bit goes ping, and then that's it. You never see it again. It's just gone. Just even if you're in a fairly small room like this, I don't even have carpet. It's hard floor, clear, so it should have been easy to find, but it just went flying. And yeah, so that was fun. Not as much fun as Skarner though, dropping a knife into his leg. Clumsy people injuring themselves while hobbying. I don't know. Wouldn't catch me doing that. Right, let's actually do some hobby while I chat, which was, as per usual, the initial plan. And I've done precisely 0 hobbying while chatting. So let's clean up these bloody mould lines. Worst part of the hobby. I hate mould lines. I hate having to shave them off. They're annoying as hell. To have a world without mould lines, that would be fun. But you can't leave them on. Don't ever leave your mould lines on, people. It's awful. Endless lulls for me from you two and your blade skills. Your time is coming, Dread. Your time's already come anyway. You had your pirate plaster on the other day. We all saw you. Steve, any advice on starting an Orc channel? I think there needs to be more Orc love on YouTube. Yes, there does. And Thack Mild, do it. That's my advice. Just do it. I think a lot of people are too hesitant, thinking, oh, I don't have a good enough camera. I don't have a good enough microphone. My stuff's not good enough. My painting skills aren't good enough. I'm not confident enough. Just do it. You've got literally nothing to lose. It costs you nothing to do it. We can all do it. We live in a really fortunate time now where I don't have a lot of money. I'm not a rich person by any stretch, you know. And yeah, what was just said there, jump in and learn as you go, is exactly what I did. I did do a little bit of prep work. I did want certain things. I spent quite a bit of time getting my intro right. I wanted certain things to be just right before I started, so I got my intro right. I did a bit of practice. I did. In fact, are you bald? You have a plus plus already. Yeah, if you're bald, that's plus points. Yeah, just do it, man. Just do it. Seriously, some people they work do like to think I've got to script it. I've got to get things right. You know, you've got to do what you're comfortable with. If you want to write it scripted, go for it. I've never done that really. I've done a script for a few things, but generally I prefer to just flow. Like today, for example, I've just turned the camera on and started chatting, and it just flows. And you become more confident as you go. And you will look back at some of your early videos and you will cringe at certain bits. But it's just do it, man. If you've got just a phone, go with it. Like my first video was just showing off my Tankbustas. I just put them on the table in front of the camera. I was behind it. It was quite a while before I appeared on camera because I wasn't confident enough to do that for a little while. And I sort of thought, oh, I kind of never intended to be on camera to start with, but then that just sort of changed. But it depends what sort of thing you want to do. Do you want to show off your stuff? Do you want to talk about the rules? Or, you know, it doesn't really matter what you want to do, but there's someone that wants to do it. Editing app. For me, buddy, I use an app called Power Director on the phone. And I can vouch for it being really fucking good. Really simple to use. It does a lot. It does a lot. KindMaster, that's another one that a lot of people use. I did start off with KindMaster when I made my first video that I did upload, but that's before I'd launched the channel properly, and then I took it off because I wasn't happy with it. It was just a test run, really, to try, just to fuck about with it and try things. But yeah, I didn't find KindMaster as user friendly. I just preferred Power Director. I think there's a bit more you can do with Power Director. I think it's really simple to use and you can do quite a lot with it. But yeah, they're free. Power Director, sorry kids, making noise. No worries, yeah, Power Director, buddy, on the App Store. This is for phones anyway. It depends what you would be doing them with. If you're doing them through PC, there's probably Skarna's probably a man to talk to about that because I don't know. I know Power Director is on PC as well, and it's probably better on PC. It depends how you're going to do them. If you're just doing them straight through your phone, like on my phone as well, I use an app called Thumbnail Maker, and I use a combination of apps to get my thumbnails. So I take pictures from my phone, or I take Google Images and cut and paste and just do that through Thumbnail Maker. I do all of it through my phone, all of it. You know, I make the thumbnail, shoot the video, edit the video, put the thumbnail on, upload it all through the phone. I only have to get on the computer just to put in the cards that pop up and the end screens, and change the monetization options, because I can monetize the videos on here, but I can't put like extra adverts in through the phone, which I don't really generally do unless they're really long videos. I generally just put an ad at the beginning of the video and then one at the very end of the video. I don't want to spam ads and annoy people and scare viewers and stuff away. If I'm doing a really long video, I might put in an ad halfway through. I think the only time I've ever done that is when me and Skarna did the 3.5 hour Two Bald Knobs episode, and on that one I did put an ad, just one ad in the center of that video, which I didn't think was too much to ask for a 3.5 hour video. But yeah, I don't. When you're watching like a 10-minute video and they've got like 4 adverts in there, that's just taking the piss, quite frankly. But yeah, but yeah, just do it, man. Just do it. If you've got a conversion or a paint job you want to show off, that's a great way to start out because you don't need a script for that. You know what you've done. So just getting a camera on, get some good lighting on it. Not when I say good lighting, doesn't have to be top of the range shit. It can just be a lamp. Don't let the elitists and the snobs tell you that anything else. You don't need it all. All you need is a pretty good camera with pretty good sound. Film the thing, talk about it, talk about how you made it, what you did, what parts you used, your inspiration for it, and show it off. And that's it. and then it will flow from there, and then ideas will keep coming to you about various things you want to do. Or it might be that you've painted a miniature that you're really happy with and you just want to show that off and just talk about it. There's all kinds of videos, and there's people that love all sorts of stuff. Some people love this hobby for the lore, so they want to watch lore videos and hear stories. Some people love all they want to know how to win games, they want to learn tactics, and they want to hear the best way to use a unit, and the best way to, get the most out of a faction. Some people love converting and kit bashing, and they want to get inspiration and ideas, and they want tutorials, maybe, things like that. There's so much you can do. Some people want to watch a bald guy sit in his bedroom and chat shit about orcs for over an hour live. There's a market for everything. But yes, you're welcome, buddy. And if you do want any further advice, do not hesitate to, in fact, let me tell you now, buddy, join the Two Bald Knobs Facebook group. From there, you can message me privately. You can also from there message Dread, Skarner. I know both of them won't mind me saying this. Frost and Fists, another good bunch of guys. There you go. Them as well. Big Mac Dan Skull. All these people that you're seeing there, other YouTubers that make videos, awesome content. All these guys. And join the unification group, of course. Join the unification group on Facebook, IDIX group. There's a wealth of knowledge there from other YouTubers, and the vast majority of us are more than happy to give advice and help and assistance. And I hope I've inspired you there, buddy. And it is fun, mate. You say it sounds fun. It is fun. It's very rewarding. It's very fun. And you don't have to have thousands of viewers. You don't have to. If you just reach out to a few people, and a few people share a few good comments on your videos, that in itself can be really rewarding. And you can be part of the best community going. And the orc community is without doubt the greatest community in 40k. There's just such a cool bunch of guys. There's some just really cool people out there, really helpful, cool people. You can meet people through it. I've met a lot of cool guys through it. Made a lot of good friends out of doing this that I would never have met had I not done this YouTubing. And I can just highly recommend it. It's an outlet for me. Like I said, I've got a full-time job, family, lots of pressures and stresses in life, and work hard. And this is my outlet. I don't really go out much like I used to in my younger days, and that I don't really go out drinking or anything like that. But this satisfies me. I'm rewarded by this. This is something that I can do in the comfort of my own home, and it's fun. It's creative. I get to meet cool people. I get to talk about the stuff, the hobby I love, and you create things that I'm proud of, be it miniatures or videos, and it's great fun. So yeah, I would highly recommend it to anyone out there thinking of making a YouTube channel and having a stab at it. And if it doesn't work, what have you lost? Nothing at all. You've lost nothing. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. Just stick your camera around, film something, do it. Make a video and then do nothing with it. Make a video, watch it back and think to yourself, that's crap. That's fine. Delete it. Don't upload it. Have another go. And then eventually you'll film and go, actually, this is all right. I think this will be good. Upload it, see what happens. Post it on my Facebook group or the IDIC group. And yeah, man, I'm going to really think on what to do. It disappeared there. I think you're about to say, it'll pop back up when the next message pops up. I think you're about to say you got 3 children. Me too. Well, 4 actually. 3 that live with me. And I understand if it is that. I have 3 kids and I need an outlet to be able to nerd whenever I want. I'll join your group. Good. Well done. And Skarner says, looking forward to your vids. And I know Skarner and Dread, we want more orc channels. We don't see anyone else doing orc channels as competition or the enemy or anything like that. We welcome you in. More orc content is awesome. So yes. And I love the fact, the most rewarding thing about doing this is that I started doing it because there wasn't enough of it on this. The videos I want to watch, they're not on there. They're only going to be on there if I make them. So I make videos that I would want to watch. And then other people started doing it. And then more people start doing it. And then the people that watch them start inspiring them, and it just snowballs. And then loads of people are making, and then you get YouTube filled with orc content, and it's great. And then we inspire more people to collect orcs and play orcs, and who knows, GW start thinking, actually, there's a big market for orcs. Let's build some good fucking kits for them. You can tell I'm quite passionate about this, can't you? Got me all fired up there. My daughter Alia, who is 6, says hello. Hello, Alia. It's good to have you here watching. You're a young snotling watching, eh? I had someone the other day message me, I think it was in the comments of one of my videos actually, and they said, my 3-year-old daughter enjoys watching your videos. She always laughs at you, or something like that, which I thought was really sweet, because my daughter's 3. And like I said to him, well, I've got a lot of practice at making my 3-year-old daughter laugh. So, you know, that was quite cool. That was quite sweet. They are big orc boss and Gretchen on YouTube, and all of them are fun. Where's the converting, Stevo? Well, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't want to show. Shall I show it? I suppose I could show it. Go on. Let's show what I'm working on. Might be a big anticlimax now. I'll show it off and I'll go, that looks crap. Wasn't worth coming or waiting around for. Go on. We've been here long enough. So let's just move the camera down a bit. So this is where he's up to thus far. Quite a bit of work to be done. And you can see the bits on the table that I'm currently working on. And I don't want them Tankbustas sneaking in. I want to hold them off. But yeah, he's coming along nicely. Yes, the pose I really like. I wanted, like, my first Deff Dread, he's standing quite static, like I said. My second one, I went a little bit more advanced, so I've got him in a bit of a, you know, sort of moving forward motion. But I was still like, oh. For my third Deff Dread, yeah, proper stompy boy. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted him stomping, looking like it. So he's almost, the pose I'm kind of going for, he's almost going like, whoa, like, you know, losing balance. Almost. So I'll tell you now, the weapons he's being fitted with is 3 custom Mega Blasters and a claw. I did at one point want to go with just 4 custom Mega Blasters, but then I was like, he's going to be really crap in combat. Then I just need to give him at least 1 claw, so he's got some combat capabilities, but still 3 custom Mega Blasters. Being a bad moon, re-rolling them ones, he's going to be quite nice. I'll just show you as well. I wasn't going to show it, but the claw is highly customized, and what I've used for that, like I said, because I've gone for a mech dread, the claw I've used actually is apart from the mech guns. So he's got his normal arm, but as you can see, his claw is that part, which I think Scarno will probably be able to tell us now. I think it's the tractor cannon. Smasher gun. There you go. It's the smasher gun. So yeah, because I wanted him to have like a mech feel. And I wanted the claw just not to be a standard claw. Tractor cannon. Oh, you're saying smasher gun? We're good. Seems to be smasher gun. 3-1 votes there. So yeah, no, I think you're right. Actually, it's smasher gun. The tractor cannon's the 4 prongs outwards. So yeah, it's the smasher gun. But yeah, I thought that looks a bit like a claw, and that would be quite cool. And then the bit in the middle, I kind of almost looks like a sort of a blowtorch kind of thing. So he's got like a cut-in sort of thing. So he kind of looks like a repaired dread sort of thing. And yeah, I thought it'd give it quite a nice mech feel to it. And yeah. I'm just showing off most of this thing now. I'm still going to make the video to show it off properly when it's finished, but I'll show you the face as well that I'm currently working on. So I've just before I started filming, actually, I just glued the eye in. So the face, some of you will recognise, is from the Morkanaut, and then the eye is from the Deff Dread kit, but that's slotted in there quite nicely. and I think that's giving him quite a cool look. He's going to have the jaw plate from the Deff Dread on there being a bit lower, so it's going to be about here, and I think he is starting to look very cool. I've also been playing around, toying with some ideas for the exhaust ports, because I don't want to use the bog standard ones, because otherwise I've got 3 Deff Dreads and all the exhaust ports look exactly the same. So I've got I've got a leftover exhaust from a truck that I'm tempted to use on him. I've got a bit of like engine manifold bit, the pipes from the engine, maybe use that. I can use the ends of big shooters. They make great exhausts because, let's face it, they're all just tubes with holes in them. One idea I did toy around with is, I'll show you this. This was something I've been sort of with. This is just blue tack together at the moment. It is an idea I've got for a converted bubble chucker. So as you can see, it's got some bits on there. It's all just blue tack together at the moment, but it's an upside down Grotzuka with parts from the bubble chucker stuck on it and sort of filed and glued in. It's got a bit from the truck engine on there. So yeah, that is that. I see Dread was talking about helping out with some exhaust ports. I will watch that video, buddy. I always watch all your videos, so I've watched that with great interest. But I was looking at this on the table because I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but that's sort of there, like, yeah, I could build a mech gun, you know, sort of out of that part like that. But then I looked at it and I thought, might be able to use this for an exhaust for the Deff Dread. So lining up, you got the bits at the back there where it goes, and I kind of thought, well, let's have a look and see. And I don't know. I mean, that looks big like that. I probably wouldn't do it quite like that, but possibly there's something there. I don't know. Bubble Chuckers had pretty crap rules. Yeah, I agree. I kind of wanted to build one just for fun, really. But I don't know. There's just something there, I think. Something that, or then I started thinking, well, maybe you could take that off there, maybe have that bit mounted onto there like that. I'm just going to sort of hold it together rough, pop that on like that, and then he's got an exhaust port like that kind of thing. Don't know. So yeah, gonna play around, because then what I'd get then is leftover exhaust engine parts from the Deff Dread, which are going to be great for future conversions. So the cool thing about converting is when you use different stuff, the stuff that you're supposed to use is all left over, which you can then use, and it spirals and keeps, you know, yeah, Stormboy Bully. So yeah, he's I'm quite pleased with him, and like I say, someone mentioned they like the pose, so yeah, I'm going for a big stompy pose with him, and yeah, he's coming along quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with him, and I think he's going to look quite cool. It's and like I say, as I'm going, I'm just kind of making it up as I go along, really. And I wanted him to. I quite like the fact that he's only going to have one arm as well. I think that's another bit I'm deciding on, actually. You guys can help me out with this decision making here. So as you can see up the top where his big arm usually goes, he's got a custom Mega Blaster there, and I've got the second slot here. So I've got enough custom Mega Blasters left over from my one. So my original idea is just to have 3 guns all like that. So he's got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then the arm. So that standard. But I have also another custom Mega Blaster here, which comes from the Morkanauts, like little belly gun that he has. So I've got that, and then I've got an arm, one of the small arms, and I'm thinking of cutting that bit down a bit, mounting that on the arm, so he's got it like that, and then it's trouble trying to show it on camera, holding it all together. You kind of do dry runs of this stuff to see how it looks. and get a feel for how it's going to look. So I'm kind of thinking, I did it earlier and I was like, not sure. But I don't know if you can see that all right. Let's try and... it's just not happening. Live videos, eh? Okay, so never do live videos. Here we go. Here we go. Sort of like that. Does that? Can you even see that without it falling back? Yeah. So I'm thinking of like a custom Mega Blaster on an arm, and I like the fact that it's the arm underneath, so the arms are lopsided, so it has that really like this has just been cobbled together, and with no sort of. I love the fact that it won't be symmetrical either side. It adds to the orkiness of it, I think. But I don't know. I kind of like the look of him only having one arm, so I don't know. Where's the blue tack when you need it? Yeah. All right. Let me do the blue tack. Let me do the blue tack. So yeah, I'm not saying. So what do we think? Do we think I should just have the 3 guns, or should we have one of the guns mounted? I'll be honest, not the fact that whatever way you guys vote, I'm still going to choose for myself anyway. So let me just clarify that before. But I'm interested to get your take anyway. This is not a democracy, people. This is a dictatorship. But I'm interested. I will take all your advice and opinions under advisement, let's say. Isn't it entertaining? Here we are, a bunch of lads watching a lad in his room building toy soldiers as the world would see it. It's good stuff. I love doing these live videos. I love doing the live videos. They're the most fun ones to do, definitely, because it means I get to interact with all of you guys, and something you just don't get in the same way from like normal videos. Orc stuff, repost your comment. Yes, do, if it's a good comment, because I can't. It's like a play meet, lol. So yeah, here you go. There it is, blue tacked on. It wouldn't be as long, because obviously I'd cut that bit out so it would join on better, but you get the idea. Should I blue tack it into the actual socket so we can see it properly without my hands in the way? Let's do that. The tallest person should have the last day in it. Yay, less fingers, lol. Don't joke about that, man. Orc stuff, I'm baffled. Having a slow day at work, watching. I was at work today, and I had to sneak off because Dreadwar wanted me to, little spoilers here, to film a little something for his next video coming up. And I sort of said to him, time's a bit tight, I'm busy at work and stuff, don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, short notice. But I was at work today and I thought, it's a bit quiet, I think I could sneak off for a bit. So I got myself out of the office and took a little stroll, and managed to quickly shoot a quick video for Dreadwire and send it to him. So don't tell the boss. But oh, hang on. Okay, so we're all blue tacked up now. Let's get that on there. You give me a better idea of what it will look like actually as well. I must admit, actually, I am liking that. And this custom Mega Blaster is a lot less of a ball ache to get the mold lines off than these bastards. They're one of the worst parts I've ever had the misfortune. It takes me fucking forever to get the mold lines off them bastards. But here we go. Let's have a look. I think that's decided it, actually. I think I'm going to go with that. I think that looks really cool. He's got one big arm, one little arm. What do you reckon, guys? I think he's going to have... Let me just hold his face bit on there so you get a feel of... I think he's going to look pretty cool. The boss says, you grots better get back to work. Looks wicked. I work at a game store in the state. Did this one double one of the weapons up, then use the empty socket to feed a power cable into them. Oh, Scar, man, you're taking it to the next level now, man. One thing you'll notice with a lot of my conversions and kit bashes and stuff, don't really do much in the way of scrap. Pretty much all my stuff is all using GW parts, or it has been thus far. Very orky. Someone says, yeah, I am liking it actually. I'm liking it quite a lot. I think this is what I'm going to go with. Yes, Skarner's got that idea of doubling up. That's quite a cool idea. I don't think I'm going to go with that though. But it is a cool idea. I think I've changed my mind actually. I was going to do the 3 guns, but I like this one of the guns being on the arm. I think having a custom Mega Blaster in the chest, belly, and just having one of the arms smashed off, also quite cool. Although not a lot of space in the chest belly, and where it would be positioned, it would end up looking a bit like a cock, I think. So yeah, I mean, it would be. Let's just have a look at that a minute. So. Yeah, actually, he's just got something sticking out of his gob. Shoulder mounted would look swank. That's fucking good idea. Damn you, Skarner. I don't know. Shoulder mounted. For fuck's sake. Why do I let Skarner in fucking conversations? Just gotta fucking take it to the next fucking level, haven't you? Throw spanner in the works. You're fucking right. I know I do it to you as well, though, man. Skarner's always showing me off stuff that he's working on. Like, oh, you could do this and you could do that. And he's like, oh, you bastard. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, but this is what's fun, just to throw all these ideas out. And to really, every single person's ideas on there would all work. And that is what is so cool about Orcs. There is no rules. There is no right, wrong. Any mech build it in different ways, and it's cool. Monkey wrench, more like, yeah. No, I think I'm a huge Predator fan as well. So having a fucking shoulder mounted custom. Ooh. I don't think I'm going to do it on this guy, but I may have to do that when I come round to converting my war boss. Shit me, Scarlett, you've really got me thinking there now. Oh boy. This is what's great about the community. We all share ideas and you know, get stuck in that side. And guys, like I say, enter this competition. So Scarlett, just tell us all in the group, when is the deadline for the competition and how exactly do we enter the competition, or get a link to the video that tells us all the rules, everything we need to know for this competition, because I think there'll be a lot of people in here interested to enter this. Give the Dread some power cable dreads for a Predator type Orc. Dreadwire, now you're talking. Yeah, that I'm going to leave that for Dreadwire. There's dreadlocks. It's going to May the 1st to 29th. Winner announced 31st. Okay. So I've started a bit early, but I can still enter, eh? Because at least you know I'm not bullshitting, because I've literally just started this guy. So deadline is May the 29th then. Okay. So we've got about a month and a half to get our vehicles built. Okie dokie. And in terms of entering, we just need to send you a picture of the finished article, I presume. And then you will choose your favourite to win the prize. I still need to send Skarner my pick. Barbarian's asking if it needs to be painted. I fucking hope not. The shoulder mounted gun doesn't work in any way on the AOS war boss, which is sad. Yep, some work in progress, then finished one. Okay, I shall take, after we finish streaming, I shall take some pictures of this fella in progress. Yeah, Age of Sigmar war bosses. I think there's way too many of them out there. He's cool. He looks cool, and I've seen some really good conversions out of him. But I think I just see way too many of him. And for me, he looks, unless he's a snakebite, I think he looks a little bit too fantasy with the armor and stuff. He's awesome. He's prime for conversion. Don't get me wrong. He is cool for converting. When I do come to converting my war boss, I'm not going to be using him as a basis because I just think it's been done to death by so many people. And when I see something done a lot, it makes me want to go in a different direction and do something completely different. I'm personally, for my war boss, I was last night actually, I was looking through GW's site at a lot of the fantasy stuff. I was looking through the ogre range because I really like the idea of basing his body on an ogre body, preferably one with a big fat gut, because I like the idea of a Bad Moon war boss being a bit fat, where he's just overeating and overindulging and splashing the teeth on, squig steaks and stuff, and just and having him decked out with all the DACA and just being a big fat show off, just showing off, damn straight. How about the origins? Yes, I've got quite a lot of his sort of fluff and lore in my head already, and yeah, I once he's made stuff, yeah, there's stuff that's all stuff for the future, for the channel and for my army. Ogrins, yeah, I've looked at Ogrins. Skarna says, "Lol, let's just keep it to vehicles for now, Gits. We'll do more builds in the future." Cool. Dreadboy saying it's a loan, not a gift, and there's some sort of conversation there. What are you lending someone, Dread? Right, so that's decided then. I know I'm doing that, so I need to build one of these then for the other side. I don't quite like that. That will fit in there nicely. Cool. Okay. I'm pretty ready to glue them yet, am I? I was lent the Orc Battle Force from years back to unbox. Ah, cool. The old Battle Force. One we used to get quite a lot of boys in there in a truck, if I remember correctly. And bikers. Good for the Evil Sons players back then. I like the current Just Getting Started set. I think it's a fantastic set. I've had 2 of them so far for my army. I think it's a set you can buy multiple times. I think the only thing in there that becomes redundant is the Pain Boy, because it is viable to have more than one Pain Boy in your army, but again, with orcs, I don't think any 2 models should look the same, and he's very monopose, quite difficult to do anything with. So you do have a bit of if you buy a few of them, you've got an abundance of Pain Boys. Hence why I've already given one away in a competition. But I think the parts you get in there, you get the knobs kit, which is a brilliant kit for kit bashers and converters, because you get so many options in that kit. It's a real cheap kit as well, the knobs kit, and you get options of heads, arms, weapons, accessories. It's a fantastic kit. Even if you're not going to build the knobs in there as they come, you've got so many cool parts in there. The boys kit is a classic and great. And from boys, you can use them to make Tankbustas. You can combine them with other kits. For example, if you have looters and burners kit, you can build your looters. Then you get all them burner bits left over. You can combine them with the boys to make more burners. You can get both looters and burners out of the one kit. There's a lot of flexibility within the range, and the Just Getting Started set where you get the Deff Dread in there as well. It's a fantastic kit, and having it now, it's given me so many different parts and options that I can use for all these convertings. I see someone there talking about the Achilles Ridge Runner. That's a cool kit, and that is prime conversion material, kit basher material for building all buggies. Gaming all types of buggies that Achilles Ridge Runner is asking for a looting. Scarlet, yes, it is damn right. It's asking for a looting. It's a awesome looking buggy, and I think there'll be quite a lot you can do with that. Better than buying any of them bloody mono build buggies anyway. Fixing this guy's jaw is going to be a bit fiddly because I've used the big Morkanaut face. That's covered. I can't fit the jaw where it would usually go, so I'm going to have to do a bit of modification to get it to fit. It's going to be lower down, so it's going to give him quite a big face, which I think is starting to, as it's taking shape, it's starting to look quite cool. For a while I thought, oh, I might not be able to put the bottom jaw in, but then it doesn't look quite right without it. I think it gives him more character to have the jaw properly with the face. So get me glue. This has served me well, this glue, but it is starting to slowly run low now. Have I done that right? Yeah. Make sure I glue the right bit. This is why, as well, why I never get any painting done, because I love building stuff. I love converting stuff. And I love kit bashing. I love it so much. And when I've finished a kit, rather than getting it painted, I move on to the next project and build something else. Building is definitely, for me, the most fun part of the hobby. I love the building, and especially converting as well. It's almost impossible for me now to build a kit just as it comes in the kit. As soon as I open it up, no matter how cool it is, I'm like, oh, it's really cool. How can I change it? How can I personalize it? How can I make it my own? And so I'm always playing around with ideas and looking at other kits. I'm seeing conversations going on there about converting ridge runners and bits. Trust it's naff. Oh, what's naff? What, the ridge runners naff? Really? I think it looks like quite a cool kit myself. Well, I guess we're all going to have differing opinions on these things. Okay, let's have a look. Is that going to fit? Could have it opening a bit, and that would make it. Oh, hello, yeah. So yeah, this is where I have. It might be in that sort of opening motion like that. But he looks mean as fuck, doesn't he? Oh, that's quite cool. The little rivets there have just held it on. So just by chance, it's just. He looks like he's having a lot of fun, doesn't he? Stomping about, firing off his custom Mega Blasters. Yes, I am liking him. Have one sticking out of his open gob. Yeah, another cool idea. There's so many ways you can take it. Yes, I think he's looking quite cool. Yeah, he's taking shape nicely. I'm quite pleased with this guy. I think he's going to be my favourite Deff Dread out of the three. I've been trying. I'm not going to spoil everything with this guy because I want to have something left to show off when I actually do the video. But I'm trying out something a little different with his shoulder pads as well. Haven't settled on it yet, but I've got a few different ideas to have his shoulder pads looking quite a bit different to how they usually would. I'm just trying to pick the mech gun now, two exactly the same, but I'm trying to pick the one that looks like the mold lines are going to be least work. They both look pretty horrendous. I'll go for this one. Such an awkward piece to get the mold lines off. I hate bits like this. It's got a lot of ridged bits where the mold line runs right through the most awkward spots to get to, and to be able to get them off without actually damaging the part itself. And the one that he's got stuck on already, I keep looking at it like, oh, I can see the mold lines a bit, but you know what? Sometimes rather than damaging the miniature, just leaving a little bit of the mold line still showing is the better option, rather than cutting into it and risk damaging some of the delicate parts. And you know what? You always see the mould lines a bit more than anyone else does, as long as you've made the effort to get most of them off. No one else looks at the models as closely as you look at them yourself, and no one's going to be as harsh a critic as yourself. But looking at the time on this video, guys, which I didn't intend, we're running over an hour and a half now for a live vid. I think that's pretty much my limit there. So I think I am going to cut this one short, but it's been, as always, an absolute pleasure sharing a bit of hobby time with you guys, shooting the breeze, chatting about orcs. It's been really fun. It looks like we've got potentially a new orc channel that's going to start up any day now by one of our viewers, which is really cool. Some of you guys have given me some great ideas for this, Deff Dread, and I look forward very soon to showing you my new Tankbustas and showing you my completed mech guns, and then after that showing you my completed Deff Dread. I've also got a top 5 orc melee weapons video coming up shortly. Going to have a tactics video on the way shortly, sharing with you some tips and things that I've picked up along the way on how to deal with Magnus. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming on the channel soon, guys, so stay tuned, and I will see you all again very shortly. So this is 6+ Stevo signing out. Always screw this bit up.